I get a lot of questions about my 52-year-old skin, so today I'm going to share with you all my tips and tricks and everything I do on the daily. Welcome back to That's So Trishy. I'm Trish. My friends call me Trishy, and we talk about all kinds of things: health, beauty, fashion, motivation, and living life beautifully over 40. Most important is on the inside, but we obviously care about our outside too. So I'm going to share with you today my skincare routine. I'm 52 and I've had a lot of people ask me, what do you use? Your skin looks really good. Well, I'm really grateful for those compliments, and I do want to start off and say two disclaimers before I go into my skincare routine. Part of the battle is sunscreen. You can't make a skin video without sunscreen. I've often said, if you've watched any of my other videos, my neck has not fared as well as my face, and I think that is because I always wore makeup when I was younger, when I would go to the beach, the pool, mainly because I was insecure. But what was beneficial was my makeup had SPF in it. So I think that has greatly reduced fine lines and wrinkles for my 52-year-old skin. Secondly, my mom has good genes, guys. My mom is gorgeous. She doesn't look nearly her age. And if I got any of that, I'm super, super grateful. Number one, I'm just gonna be right up front. I always am. I started getting Botox on my crow's feet and my forehead when I was 42, so 10 years ago. I did, sometimes I forget the numbers, I think I did about 4 or 5 years of crow's feet alone, and then I added in the forehead. I since have become a nurse injector. I've been a nurse for a long, long time. I'm a master's degree nurse, 34 years in healthcare. And because I love skin and I had thought about opening a med spa, I received formal nurse injector training so I can do Botox. However, I don't do Botox. Every time I make one of these videos, some of my local friends will message me, can you do my Botox? I decided not to go into med spa business. We have enough going on as it is. I am fortunate enough to be able to do my own Botox, so I'm very schooled in that. I often get a lot of questions about Botox. If you're curious about Botox, you should go look at this video up here that I did, and it talks about all things Botox. It's really not that big of a deal, guys, but once you get it done, it's a big deal because it changes everything. All it does is prevent your muscles from creasing the skin when they make certain movements. So if you take those muscles and don't allow them to crease that skin anymore, it's gonna do better. So I think Botox, hands down, has been the best thing for my skin. But what do I do on the daily? All right, let's go through the routine. I am one of these people that I don't spend a great deal of time. Now, when I typed out my list for the video on my blog, which you can check out at www.thatsotrishy.com, it did seem like a lot more when I wrote it down, but really on the daily, I'm kind of lazy. I'm a lazy girl. I'm really not lazy at all, but I'm lazy about stuff like that. So what I do is, first thing, I wash off my face very lightly with olive oil. I love olive oil. It's natural and it just helps get a little bit of the residue off, especially at night if I have makeup on, and it gets that first layer off but still keeps my skin moist. Secondly, I use a cleanser. You guys are going to hear me talk about my favorite skincare brand, not sponsored, so truly authentic, is the Ordinary, and I use the Squalane Cleanser. You take about a pea drop of it and you rub it together for 30 seconds to activate it. Why is squalene so good? Squalene is a natural antioxidant. It's a great hydrator. It's found in a form naturally in our bodies, in animals, and in plants. The Ordinary uses plant squalene. It's a great cleanser and it doesn't strip my face of oils. After I use my cleanser, I pat my face dry. I think you should always be careful not to pull on your skin. Now, I do slap my skin. That's gonna sound funny, but I do try to slap my skin gently because I believe blood circulation and blood flow just help prevent laxity and helps collagen. So I will do a very controlled slap. I usually do it right down here because I feel like this is where my skin is aging more, and my neck. A very controlled slap. So there's your answer. You guys are looking for all the secrets. She slaps herself silly. Anyway, next step, after I've patted my skin dry with the towel, I use my favorite skin product, probably of all time, also by The Ordinary, the Buffet. What is a buffet? Because anything that says buffet sounds good, right? I'm thinking fried chicken, chicken and dumplings, all the things that I can't eat if I want to keep my bouquet small. The Buffet is a combination of some amazing ingredients. The Buffet has 2 different types of matrixyl. If you've heard of matrixyl, it's one of the best skincare ingredients. It helps prevent fine lines and wrinkles and rejuvenates your skin. So it's got 2 different kinds of matrixyl in it. And then it has a whole lot of amino acids. It also has hyaluronic acids in it. So it moisturizes, it nourishes, it replenishes. I love this stuff so much. I don't use moisturizer after this. Now, a lot of people do and maybe need to, but I have what I guess you would call normal skin. It isn't overly dry, it isn't overly oily, it's just kind of in the middle. And so this works great. I put it on my face, I put it on my neck, and I always put it on the back of my hands. I feel like the neck and the back of the hands, I look like a cheerleader. I feel like those are sometimes some of the most overlooked areas. Although I do use the Buffet to moisturize those areas, I also use regular lotion moisturizer for the rest of my body. I don't buy, again, a super expensive product. I use Cereve. Great quality, inexpensive. Everything, by the way, is going to be linked in the description box for you. Now, one of my other holy grail products is Retina A. This is the generic name, tretinoin. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. If you get Retina A, you need to start out small because it gets kind of rough on your skin. When I first started using it, it almost made my skin really raw. And actually, I did some funny Instagrams recently. I went to get contacts and the doctor was pulling down and I was screaming and he was like, "What's wrong? It shouldn't hurt." And I was like, my skin, Retina A. Well, he also pulled off my false eyelash. And then me telling him, "You're on my Retina A for my wrinkles." I don't think he knew what to think about this blonde chick. But Retina A is wonderful to help get rid of some of the dead skin and rejuvenate fresh skin. So I pat it on 2 to 3 times a week, just like this, right under my eyes. That's where I need the most help. That's where some of the fine lines and wrinkles still don't get completely eradicated by the Botox. I also, usually a couple times a week, I will put the Retina A on at night and then I put these little pads on under my eyes. It really helps soak the Retina A in. I've mentioned this in some of my earliest videos and it has not changed in over a year. One of, I feel like, my secrets that I very rarely hear other people talk about is I use a humidifier every single night. It sits right by my bed and it blows cool mist on my face. I just strongly believe that keeping your face moisturized keeps it elastic and prevents wrinkles, and it just seems to really do wonderful and it just feels so good. Next up on my skincare routine, about once a week, and I know this is a lot less than a lot of people that I have read on my skincare sites, I use Vitamin C Serum on my face. And part of the retinoid family, it just helps rejuvenate, it helps with antioxidants, and I just use Avon. It's called Avon Anew Vitamin C. It looks like this. About once a week, it just gets some of that dead skin off, and I always feel like my skin is so much glowy after I do my once weekly vitamin C. Something new I have added to my skincare regimen is lactic acid cleanser. I love a skin company that I buy my TCA Peels from, and they send samples. The company is Platinum Skincare. I highly recommend them. That's where I get all my TCA Peels, and now I've been using the lactic acid cleanser once a week, because again, I feel like it removes a lot of the dead skin. You really have to exfoliate. Skin cells turn over on your face, and if you're not getting rid of the dead ones, your skin is gonna look dull and not bright. I noticed today, before I was filming this, I took all my makeup off and my skin just looked dull and it kind of looked crepey. And so I used the lactic acid cleanser, and after about 30 minutes, I looked in the mirror and I was like, my skin looks so much better. So I just think whether you're exfoliating mechanically or chemically, it really makes a huge difference. Speaking of exfoliating, I also use a sugar scrub, usually about once a week on my face, twice a week in the shower. Tree Hut sugar scrub is my favorite. They're inexpensive, they're about $6, and I love the smells. My favorite is vanilla bean. Now, some schools of thought are saying don't exfoliate on your face with scrubs anymore. I do it very gently, and I feel like it does nothing but gives me fresh, radiant skin. So I still recommend a gentle exfoliation of sugar scrub on my face. On my body, I use it on my skin twice a week. So we've talked about my daily, we've talked about my nightly, we've talked about my weekly. I also do a several times a year skincare. And you've heard me talk about it before. TCA Peels. I'm a huge believer in TCA Peels. You should take a peek at this video I did not too long ago. You can see my TCA peel that I recently did on my face. I've done 2 on my face, 3 or 4 on my neck and back, and I feel like they're cumulative. So go check that video out so you can get all the tea on TCA peels, because I feel like they're very beneficial. I again purchased those from Platinum Skincare, not sponsored. I think I do have a code in my description box where we both can get a referral bonus if you decide to purchase from them. This is a super good tip, and it's actually going to be next week's video. I started probably 15 years ago going to the dermatologist twice a year and having them freeze off brown spots. I freckle, and I spent too much time out in the sun as a young girl, and I find that those little ugly brown age spots show up periodically. Well, a couple years ago, I discovered how to do it at home. I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. It's so easy. So you've got to come back every Sunday at 12 p.m. Central. I upload a new video, and you can find that in my video series. If you go to playlist, it'll be under beauty. But I tell you the secret that I do at home about twice a year to get rid of my brown spots. I'm actually going to do one tonight, which you can see on the video next week. We mentioned it briefly at the beginning, but I could not do this video without talking about sunscreen. I still wear sunscreen if I'm going to be out. I never go without it. I also use hats, which luckily are super in style right now. You can get cute hats, and I pretty much never expose my skin very long to the sun. Now, I will maybe 10 minutes get out in the sun because I feel like a little bit of sun and vitamin D is good for us. But guys, sun is not good for the longevity of the looks of your skin. Because I part this way, I have brown spots all up here, and this other side is clear as can be. So that right there speaks to a lot of it. So sunscreen, skin protection. When I go for walks in the morning, I wear long sleeves. I'm cold. I'm the coldest girl on the planet. Maybe you're not. But I really recommend protecting your skin. That is my regular regimen of skincare. I do throw in things periodically to try. I talked about in a neck video, if you want to look at that. I did have what they call Ultherapy on my neck, or it's also called HIFU, high intensity focused ultrasound. That did help with some laxity in my neck for a while. I don't know that it had long-term results, so I don't know that I'll do that again. I have also recently just started using red light therapy, and that's definitely going to be a video coming up. I plan on doing that 2 to 3 times a week the whole month of June, so if you'd like to see a video on that, let me know in the comments, because that is probably coming. I also have used IPL, intense pulse light therapy. I have a small at-home device. I'm just not real good at being consistent with it, but if I can get to be more consistent with it, I'll do some before and afters and do a video on that as well. I have just dabbled into micro needling, so that's going to be coming up for you guys if you're interested in micro needling. There's been some great results with skincare and keeping our skin youthful and making collagen regenerate with micro needling, so that's coming soon as well. Lastly, as I close it out, I have to also mention it's not just important to think about the outside. We talked about being over 40 and how happy it can be. It's not just about our exterior, but it's from inside. Well, the same holds true with your skin. A lot of it is what you intake. I do take a daily collagen. I just get mine off of Amazon, and I use droplets just honestly because I hate to swallow pills. I used to do the powder and it was hard to mix, so I just use a little dropper, and I will link the one in the description box for you that I use. I also think lots of hydration is super important, lots of vitamins, vitamin C, and then the last thing that I think is important that a lot of people don't mention on skincare videos. If you are over 40, you need to think about you are probably in perimenopause. Perimenopause is the 10-year period surrounding when you have your last period, which that is menopause. That's it. It's the perimenopause that sometimes gives us problems. But for many of the studies out there, supplemental estrogen, if it's not contraindicated to your health and you can take it, is so good for our skin and our bones. The studies have shown it helps prevent osteoporosis, heart disease, Alzheimer's, but it's absolutely beneficial in our skin and rejuvenating the collagen. If you want to know more about that, I made a great entry point video on estrogen. You can check that out here. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap up. That's my whole skin regimen. I hope you found something beneficial in it. If you liked today's video, would you consider giving it a thumbs up? That little ding helps me tremendously, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing and joining my community. I'm going to continue on because my passion is inspiring women over 40. I put out a new video every Sunday at 12 Central Time, and I would love to have you back here. Let me know in the comments what you thought about today's video, and have a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by. That's so Trishy. Bye. Olive oil. I love olive oil. That is wrong. That is so wrong. You're so messed up. All right.